like I said, the Wonder Blocks, they've got a spot, but usually where I use them is like on an edge, where I'm going to push it off nice and straight, and stuff that ain't going to count, you know, because I mean, what we're looking for is to get these parts really flat, maybe under reverse curve. And I'll say one thing is, you know, these curved blocks are great, but you're better off crisscrossing if you really want to get something smooth and flat and play reflections nice and the like. I'll show you another block we got. That there, Hutchins, bought it. Supposed to be able to snap paper into it with these spring-loaded clips. Shit, I don't think I've ever used it. You can look at it and see I haven't used it. I don't mind these. Some guys think they're a joke, and I will be honest with you. A block like this is great for some spots, but when you get into a door panel like that, if you start blocking with this, it ain't going to be as straight as if you're using this long block. And always remember to taper down gradually, lightly, and crisscross a lot. You know, a couple things that I always try to do when I get into a project like this is I try to put most of my primer on the ground. Like I said, I don't want it to be a heavy job, and this is going to get knocked down once with 180, and then I'm going to put 2 more coats of surfacer on it, and it'll get its final blocking when I get ready to paint it. But generally right now what I'm looking to do is just really level things out. Now on a 90 Honda like this, one thing you got to be careful about, guys, some of these early single stage paint jobs on these dang Hondas, when you break through somewhere, and see this paint on this thing was really pretty good. It's just the car was full of dings and little dents and road rash. It's a 90 Honda. If you break through somewhere, or say where you're doing your filler work on these things, and you've got your feather edge out here, that feather edge on these Hondas, I think Hondas and Mazdas were the ones in single stages, and you go straight into like a regular, like a urethane primer surfacer, they will bullseye on you. There's something about the paint that's on these. Yeah, it's good paint, it holds up good, but it wasn't that stable when you put more solvents on it. So in order to keep that from being an issue on this one, what I used on it, product, which is a poly, to fill 4 to 1. And when I got done with my filler work, I used this for my first go around, and I knocked that down with 120 and 180. Then I stepped into my CP440, which is a 2K urethane primer surfacer, and I put 3 coats of that on, and I'm blocking that now with 180. And then what I'll do is I'll do the final block. I mean, I want this thing really straight, but like I said, each time I cut it, you can see I cut it heavy and I cut it flat. If I've got a spot in my bodywork I didn't like or whatever, I'm not afraid of switching over to the 120, which don't bother with the 3M 120. It's better than the 180 one. You have to cut better. And I'll work that spot over, because if you go to too fine a grits, you're not going to get that lump out. It's going to come back and bite you in the ass. And also, that's another reason for the hard blocks. By the young guys, they didn't have much bodywork tools. And I mean, it's nice to have a mud hull. They're not a finish sand. Don't use them for one. Always block your bodywork. If you're in a pinch and you got one of these, this will be just as flat, and if not faster, than a mud hull. But you got to be careful. You got to know when to stop with these things. These are an animal. If you're doing, when I used to rebuild totals and we used to use tremendous amounts of filler, this was the damn tool for the job if you were doing that rollover. Multiple gallons of filler on it. These here, some guys won't use it at all, but what I do like these for is on a reverse curve. So say if you're on like a Ford pickup, you know, and you're hooking it in and out. Don't use these with anything finer than 36. If you put 80 in this, you're jerking yourself. They're just made for roughing out. If you can, buy a shorter version. Most of the cars we're working on ain't as big as the old dang 56 Cadillacs or whatever. The short one's got a longer stroke than the long one, and will eat filler faster. And if you're just roughing it out, who cares, right? You can get in there, you can get it just as flat as one of these, or get it roughed out as flat as one of those. As far as mud hogs, don't even try to put anything finer than 80 in this. You're jerking yourself again. This is a mud block. This is not a DA. It's the same thing as that. Now we get into DAs. We all can block with the DA to a point, but don't ever do anything that you want nice with the DA. It's got its place, but if you're going to start running one of these, it's the same thing. Okay, this thing here, I'm doing it like Mako. I can buzz it. I can get them fairly straight, but the block is your friend on this stuff. The young guy and I was broke, probably one of the best blocks I know of that'll get things flat consistently is a little 4-inch rubber. Like I said, a soft block, who knows what that's good for? I never use them anymore. The teardrop's kind of nice in certain situations because you can put your paper in and get it sledged in, get it in spots. You know, it depends on how anal you want to get. There's little areas you want to get in, the grooves or whatever. But when you're getting into split hairs like that, hey, I hate to tell you this, you're killing yourself over nothing. But again, I just want to kind of go over with you guys. I'll probably do a little bit better demo on the actual blocking of these large panels. But like I said, keep it light, keep it real, spread your time around. Don't just concentrate on one area. Because anywhere you're going to be able to cheat, it's going to be up in these edges. But I still like to run across them a little bit, you know, if I'm going to go across. On an upper crown like this, you can use the shorter 7-inch block. You just make sure you constantly crisscross. The more you crisscross, the flatter it'll get. Like I said, if you go in and you're blocking your primer with a soft block, it's not going to be as flat. It ain't going to be as straight. The other thing I don't like is I don't like my blocks with a lot of padding on them. These have been around the pipe. But the thinner the padding, it seems like the flatter things get. You get too much of a cushion on the bottom of the block. This is an old block that I got years back, and see, that's a fairly rigid cushion. This is the block I use when I don't want the thing to look like a funhouse smear. Well, hopefully this video helps some of you guys out. It's been a while. Good to see you all. I haven't picked on anybody today, but you know, I'll think of that in the next video. Talk to you guys later. Bye.